Good morning. Glad to have you here with us on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I can't believe it's Wednesday.
Oh, Jeremy, what day is it? It's not Wednesday. It's
Hump Day.
Nice. There we go.
So, Jeremy, as we head out the door this morning, we might not need all the layers today. Still cold, but not as cold as the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's not bad. It is a bit windier, though, as you step out the door. And sidebar here for a half second. We'll get back to the weather, but we have a new KREM promo, or Up with KREM promo out. I shared it on my Facebook page, and I realized that I do a lot of yelling during the show. I would apologize for that, but I think it's kind of just who I am. Anyway, temperatures are on the mild side. We're in the mid-30s right now. Dew point right at 34 degrees. Wind out of the southwest at 18 miles per hour. So yes, we did get about a 10-degree jump in temps between this morning and where we've been the past few mornings. But it does come with a bit of wind and wetness in the atmosphere from all of our melting snow. So with a dew point of 34 and a temp of 35, you get fog. And we do have some of that patchy fog around the region. Here on the South Hill, visibility seems to be about at a mile, and traffic's moving along just fine on Regal. It's a bit loud because of some of the water on the road, and you're still finding some of that slush on side roads as temperatures hover just above freezing early this morning. Doing a great job of melting a lot of that snow across the region. So expect that melting to continue in low elevations as wind continues to pick up and advect in some warmer temps. But throughout the day, wind is also going to help clear us out. It's already done a decent job of getting rid of some of that upper atmospheric moisture. Now we just have the stuff on the ground hanging out following some of yesterday's snow, or well, 2 days ago snow, yesterday's lingering snow, and the melting that occurred overnight. By this afternoon, we do a decent job of getting rid of a lot of this fog and low-hanging stratus, and what we'll wind up seeing is a little bit of sun poking through here in eastern Washington. North Idaho, unfortunately, you're kind of in on the clouds for much of the day. But here in Spokane, we'll wind up seeing a little sun this afternoon as temps climb to near 40 degrees.
New overnight, the search for a convicted sex offender ended in Spokane Valley.
That's right. He was found with a 15-year-old girl who's been missing from Lewiston since Monday. That girl is now in protective custody, and the 36-year-old suspect is in jail. A person called 911 after seeing the man's car in Spokane Valley.
Washington State Patrol found the car, and when authorities approached the suspect, Jonathan Wayne Bowles started running but was later arrested. Bowles is a sex offender, and he has multiple felony warrants out for his arrest in Garfield County.
Police believe he befriended the 15-year-old girl. Bowles is currently in Spokane County Jail, and authorities say that he may face third-degree assault charges for resisting arrest and eluding police. He will also face possible kidnapping charges as well. The iconic Davenport hotels are being sold.
Local owners Walt and Karen Worthy signed a deal with KSL Capital Partners. The company owns some of the top hotels around the world. Back in 2002, the Worthys bought the historic Davenport and reopened it. At that time, the local landmark was closed since 1985 and was nearly torn down.
So the Worthies stepped in and restored it to its former glory. The couple eventually acquired the Davenport Lusso, the Centennial, and built the Davenport Grand.
So right now, the current managing director of the Davenport Hotel will continue to manage all of the properties for KSL.
The Davenport Historic started 107 years ago. We have a great history, and as I've said this already, but this is just a new chapter. Well, Louis Davenport had a lot of our story. Walt and Karen had a few chapters in there, and we're going to turn the page and we're going to start this next phase, and we're looking forward to it.
The Worthies now plan to retire, but will stay involved in the Spokane community. They're not saying how much the 5 properties sold for, but hotel staff members are being told that their jobs are secure.
It is a frustrating feeling for a lot of drivers in downtown Spokane. Ongoing issues with parking and the parking app may leave people digging for change or risking getting a ticket if they park.
That's right. So of course, when KREM 2 learned of this problem, we took your concerns to the city. So this morning, KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is joining us live and telling us more about what the city is telling drivers to do. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Channing and Tim. So for people who work or visit downtown, parking here and street parking and paying with these meters here is typically the easiest and cheapest way to park downtown, but people are actually having trouble paying for their parking right now. So we had some viewers both call and email us letting us know that they're having trouble specifically with the city's Passport Parking mobile app. It's a popular option to pay for parking downtown, especially if you don't carry change. Shannon Orlando parks on the street daily near the Spokane County Courthouse. She says the last few months, she and her coworkers have noticed the city's Passport Parking app won't take their payments.
Well, it can be really frustrating because you don't know that the problem is happening until you're already there. So if you're running a little bit late or whatever, that means you have to go find a place to get change.
So city spokesperson Brian Coddington confirmed they are aware of the issues people are having paying through the app. The city told us it is working on a new program that would allow people to use several different apps to pay for parking, giving drivers more options. But in the meantime, what are your options if you're planning on coming down here to downtown and need to pay for parking? Well, you do have to pay, otherwise you risk getting a ticket. If the app doesn't work, of course you can take your credit card, you can slide that right in and pay it that way, or the old-fashioned way, bring some change just in case, because some meters are older and don't have that credit card option. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
New court documents are revealing more about the murder victim found near Northern Quest and Airway Heights. Now, according to those documents, Jeffrey Hayes was not killed at that location. His body was simply left there. Court documents say a witness saw a white car pull up and leave Hayes' body in the empty field where he was found. Police are looking for information about a 1990 Mazda four-door sedan seen in the area before the murder on December 2nd. Anyone with information relating to this case should call Spokane Crime Check.
A series of earthquakes struck off the Oregon coast Tuesday afternoon, the largest registered at a 5.8, which hit around 4:45 yesterday. None of them were felt on land, and this is one of the most seismically active faults near North America, and experts are saying there's no cause for concern.
Well, Santa Claus paid a visit to Shriners Children's Hospital with the help of telehealth technology. So patients got a chance to video chat with Santa himself all the way from the North Pole. Many of these patients have trouble with mobility or communication, so Santa virtually visits several Shriners locations all over the U.S. during the holidays.
So for patients that have mobility issues, it can be challenging to do those traditional things like going out and seeing Santa and sit on his lap. Santa is so kind that he visits our hospital to make sure all of those kids have the opportunity to visit with him one-on-one ahead of Christmas.
Shriners Spokane has been doing virtual visits with Santa for several years, and it's said to be one of the highlights of the holidays. That's your Morning Rush. Thousands of people were looking for their favorite websites after a major outage. Why, it's a much bigger deal than it sounds.
And one thing worth knowing as you head out the door this morning, well, that's as we dry out in lower elevations and maybe even see a little sun in Spokane, it's still snowing up in the mountains, and it will continue to do so right on through the weekend.
All right, time for your wake-up call. Today is KREM 2's Tree of Sharing drop-off day. So this morning, we want to see your favorite holiday memories. Send us a photo if you have one of your favorite gift, or you can text us your favorite memory at 509-448-2000, or of course, reach out to us on social media by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM. We've already got a lot of favorite memories. This one says, a favorite memory of Christmas is one year when my children were fairly young, and as a single parent having a very difficult year, I couldn't afford much, but what they could afford, they put under the tree, went to bed. The next morning, woke up to all these presents under the tree. Their door was locked, and they said nobody in their family owned up to it. Santa, love it.
Love it. All right, keep sending in those responses. And as we take a live look outside, we say good morning to you, Inland Northwest. What's your favorite Christmas carol? We've been listening to carols all morning long. We'd love to hear from you. Text us 509-448-2000.